It's the International Soccer Preview. We are Soccerphiles Canada. Welcome to Series 31, looking at the players of the 2025 African Cup. This episode is looking at the players of Burkina Faso. Part 1, the candidates. Here we go! Hello and welcome to the International Soccer Preview by Soccerphiles Canada. I'm Kevin and this is Series 31 on the players of the 2025 African Cup. This episode covers Burkina Faso's players. And so we move on into Section 3 here, and we want to welcome new listeners to Section 3 here because we are releasing this as a short version of Part 1 of Burkina Faso's players. So in the full version, we introduced the candidates and their likelihood of making the squad. We gave our reasons for thinking so. It was based mostly on their recent participation and gave some career information on the main players there. Here we're just kind of reviewing the list that we created in Part 2, and we're not concerning ourselves with predicting starters at this point. We're just predicting the likelihood of players to be named to the squad. So let's begin with the manager. Brahma Traore took over at the beginning of 2024 there, February 2024, from Hubert Velud. And he will likely be leading them through this tournament. Just because of his lack of experience, we think we wouldn't be shocked if they got a new manager, but it seems too late to do that at this point. Goalkeepers, we have a definite candidate in Kylian Nikiema and a likely candidate in Irv Coffey, and three possible candidates, Farid Ouedraogo, Laji Brahima Sanu and Clovis Bazimo. And we won't talk about players below that level unless there's reason to. For defenders, and we look at central defense, not a lot of candidates for a position where they usually bring 5 or 6, but they've been relying on 4 players quite heavily here. Edmund Tapsoba and Isufu Deu, both at the definite level, and they're the kind of the starters. And we also have backup defender Nasser Jiga. So all 3 of those definite candidates. The other backup is a likely candidate, Adamo Nagalo. There we go, I got it. That is it. Over to left backs. We have no definite candidate, but a likely candidate in Steve Yago, at least during this period. He's been playing on the left. And we have 2 possible candidates, Abdul Ayinde and Mohamed Ouedraogo there. On the right side, a very strong candidate, just one candidate actually, Issa Kabore. When he's not available, it's out of position players coming in to back him up. But he is a definite candidate. And that's it for defense. On to defensive midfield. We have definite candidates in Seydou Simpore. Actually, he's coded as a right back and could be a backup for that position too. During this period, though, he's been playing as a defensive midfielder. We also have a likely candidate in newcomer Mohamed Zugrana, and then a possible candidate in Ismaila Ouedraogo. But the central midfield is really just a clump of players that includes defensive and central midfielders, also includes attacking midfielders too. So let's look at the central midfielders. No candidates at the definite level here, but we have Blati Touré at the likely level and Abdul Yoda at the possible level. And as I said, we're kind of adding candidates when we get to attacking midfielders shortly. Moving on upfield to the attacking end, we begin on the left side. We have no candidate at the definite level, but at the likely level, Pierre Landry Kabore, recently making a bit of a splash in October there. And two possible candidates, Hassan Bande and Usaini Bouda. On the right side, we have a lot of talent, two definite candidates, Dango Ouattara and Bertrand Traore. No candidates at the likely level, but two possible candidates in Cyriac Iri and George Minungu. Now we get to the central attackers who are playing mostly in central midfield over this period. That's definite candidate Cedric Badolo, and also definite Josue Tiendre Briogo. No candidates at the likely level, but at the possible level, we also have Stéphane Aziz Ki. And finally, we look at the forwards. We have two definite candidates here, Mohamed Kanate and Lassana Frank Traore. And that's it. We don't have any at the likely or possible level. So they're reliant on those players. But sometimes we do see some of the, especially right attacking midfielders come in to play the position, especially Bertrand Traore recently. All right, that's our review of the candidates. Let's move on to big names who are off the squad. We don't have any really big names. Probably the biggest is Adama Guira. Adama Guira is part of the last two African Cups. He has 53 caps for the national team since 2010. He was part of the last four African Cups. Since 2015, they weren't part of the 2019 African Cup, and but he got injured in the last African Cup there in 2023. I don't know if that had anything to do with his retirement, but that was his last appearance for the national team, and he retired from soccer altogether in 2024 there. So Adama Guira, the only really big name off the squad during this period. Let's take a look at a couple of injuries to tell you about. The first one is defensive midfielder Mohamed Zougrana, and he is a likely candidate. Out with a knee injury since late October, so he missed the October games. That's why he was on our list, but he actually did return to action in early December. So we will put Mohamed Zougrana as recovered from injured. Probably not the case. Oh, no, it may be the same case for Lassana Frank Traore. He is a forward and a definite candidate if he's available. Quite injury prone. The poor guy has suffered 3 long-term injuries over the past 4 years, most recently a hamstring injury since early August. However, he recovered from it and is building fitness as of November. And in December, on December 14th, he was on the bench for his club. So that's a bit of a close call. He may not have the fitness to, especially to be a starter in the cup, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is called up, and seems pretty close to recovery. Again, probably more of a fitness concern. But he has been kind of building his fitness all through November, so he may come back in good condition. Let's move on to... I'm going to skip closing thoughts because I don't have anything particular to say, so we'll preview part 2 here. So in part 2, we're going to put that out when we know the final selections and who was on the preliminary squad. So we'll focus on any notable non-selections, any surprise inclusions, and there's always a couple of new players to introduce. We'll give an update on injuries, any new injuries, or if we know anything more about Traore there. And finally, one of the things we do in part 2 is the Spotlight Review. That is our prediction of starters in the Cup. So we hope you will join us for that. And that brings us to the end of part 1. See you soon. We would like to thank Pixabay and Cold Fingers for the wonderful music used in this mediacast. The title of the piece is Eid Mubarak.